レクイエム。
Alright, real quick, people on YouTube, I wanted to tell you I am now currently doing Twitch. Any giveaways or reactions, pretty much any videos you guys want to send me, interested in any of that, follow me on Twitch at ShoSaga_YT. Thanks for watching the video. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Show, back with another video, and today we're talking about an anime of mine that I really used to enjoy. Talking about Hitman Reborn. This anime was probably one of my favorite anime of all time. Let's talk about it. Hitman Reborn, also known as Reborn, you know what I'm saying? It was such a good anime for its time, but if you watch it now, you'll either hate it or you'll feel like it takes way too long to get into some action. I feel like a lot of anime that are good. This is one I'm talking about in particular is probably like Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is good. It gets amazing at episode 19 when you see all the flashy graphics and stuff. And then from there on, I think season 2 was really great. But stuff like Hitman Reborn, that was part of the I don't know what I want to be type of anime. Like they would have an anime where it was slice of life. This happened a lot in anime back then. This also happened with my favorite anime, Gintama. Basically, Gintama started out as a comedy anime, and then the actual mangaka wanted to do like action and battle anime, so he decided to kind of mix it a little bit of both. Hitman Reborn was the same way. Hitman Reborn wanted to have like a comedy slice of life type of anime. You can definitely tell if you watch the first couple episodes. You can tell that it was supposed to meant to be like a comedy slash funny everyday life of a mafia boss type of thing. I mean, this came out in 2004. There was a lot of like specific type of anime in 2004. So I can definitely see where he was going with this, but from my knowledge, they said that basically it didn't sell well, or he either got bored of trying to make it a slice of life anime and decided just to specifically go for a more battle-oriented shonen. And when it got to the actual battle-oriented part, it was actually fire. I mean, fights after fights, and they were all really kind of built up and cool and enjoyable. Now, the reason why this is relevant now is because they actually talked about bringing this back, like continuing the anime or rebooting it. Me personally, I would want to give it a reboot. This is why it's under my series, because I haven't done a video in this series in a while. Because generally, I don't do anime topics. They can be kind of hard to edit in terms of like what anime footage you can actually use and whether they'll get pulled down because it's an anime topic that you want to use. It's not one that they want you to use, so it can be kind of tricky to kind of figure all that out. Okay, now let's talk about the premise. The premise. This is all from memory. Some stuff was like kind of researched, but this is all just basically my memory on the entire show as far as like the premise. I watched it again not too long ago. I just didn't ever get all the way through. It starts off with a main character. His name is Suna, and he's basically the next in line to become a mafia boss. And because he is the next in line, for some odd reason that you find out later in the show, basically he gets a tutor. And that tutor is named Reborn. This is where the show's name comes from. Reborn is a very interesting baby that is a human trapped in a baby's form, which I don't know if you knew that yet. And he teaches Suna to be like, more mafia material. And from there on, after the slice of life thing, he has these special bullets called the dying will bullets. And basically when he does, he shoots you with these bullets, and you profess either your undying love or do something that you always wanted to do. It basically lowers your inhibitions to stop you to, just do whatever you want to do. Do something that you think that would be your dying wish. You know what I'm saying? Like, so your dying wish is to go rob a bank or something. You'll go do that. Like, push you in a state of hyper death. I think it was actually called hyper death too. And this actually led to a lot of like interesting dynamics with the slice of life aspect. It basically, it let you it was a lot of funny episodes that came out of that. Stuff that he could do with the down world he couldn't normally do in real life. But then it eventually moved on to the battle type of anime. And, they did it. They had introduced a character that was going to be a character that was going to be throughout the series. And, he basically had to gather his friends together to create his own family, which is basically like his mafia family. And it ended up getting really interesting later on. And as the anime ends, it ends in a decent spot, for me at least. I actually read the manga, which at that time was one of the first like manga I'd ever read. Like, now I read manga all the time, but it was like one of the first manga I've ever like specifically read to finish the series. Like, I was wanting to know what happened to the end of the story. And I must say, the story to me, it ended pretty in a satisfactory way. I like the way it ended, in me personally, in a sense. But do I think this definitely could come back and be like a rebootable series? For sure. I think they can come back and do it, and it'd be a good, decent reboot. Because personally, I just feel like the show itself was good. It's just maybe like a lot of slice of life filler type episodes cut out. Maybe like a, that's the thing, I don't want a Shonen King remake, because Shonen King remake did not look good. I think Hitman Reborn could be a top battle manga. Like, I feel like they rebooted it now, like how they did with Hunter x Hunter. It could be not necessarily the next Hunter x Hunter, because that anime in general was just a great anime from the start. And while I think that Hitman Reborn is a great anime, I don't know what they would have to cut. They would have to cut out a lot from the first couple of episodes to really, you know, shorten the length down and kind of save on animation costs, because they can make some really, really good fights. There were a lot of good fights for like 2004. You know, there was a lot of good fights for back then. So I can definitely understand why people may feel like the show isn't as good as everybody thinks, because like I said, it had a lot of filler episodes. Like, this is why I said that in the reboot or remake they can really just cut like a lot of episodes and have it run a little bit more smoother. For me personally, I was at the point I was watching anime left and right. You know, I always say that my favorite anime would have never been found had I been in the mode that I was in now. You know, I feel like when you watch a certain number of anime, you just kind of, you don't really care about like the fluff anymore. Like, if you watch an isekai, you feel like you watched them all, and you feel like, you know, you don't really care about this one because this one has a slight twist on the other ones. Unless it has like a really major twist and it's just like, or it's like some really good writing, like Mushoku Tensei, then you really don't care. If I'm being honest, you don't care to see the same thing you've already seen, but like worse than the things you've already seen. Like, if you're thinking about like watching Hitman Reborn now and you've seen stuff like Demon Slayer stuff, do not watch like Hitman Reborn, because you would not love the animation, because it's an older anime. It's supposed to be for that. You know, if you just have nothing to watch and you're just looking for a good anime that'll get good eventually, something you can eat some episodes into, but that's to get good eventually, then Hitman Reborn's for you. You know what I'm saying? Don't expect it to come out being like Demon Slayer. Even if you do give it like the glasses of it's old, and you know, you try to look at it in the old light, you'll look at some of the issues with like the first season and you'll just not want to watch anymore. And that's a shame, because it was hiding a very, very good anime. But for me, I'm never going to really let go of all them old anime like Mar and Zatch Bell. And all them anime will always be in my heart, because, you know, that's basically what I grew up with. So, with that being said, guys, let me know how you feel about Hitman Reborn. I didn't really talk too much about it because I don't want to spoil it. I do want you to go and watch it. I think it's a great anime to watch. Great might be overestimated a little bit. Like, after the first season, it was great. So I don't necessarily could say that the whole anime was great. The whole anime was definitely solid and good. If you're just looking for something to watch, I don't think they had no dubbed episodes, so I would actually be curious to see how they would sound in dub if they do the reboot. If they do the reboot, man, this show will go up. I think this show will do a lot better. And I didn't necessarily like a lot of the spinoffs of the other shows that the mangaka did, but I definitely love Hitman Reborn. It was always be one of my favorite. I even had like the rings, the Lavangolian rings. If you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about, the Lavangolian rings. I've had some of those, and those are cool. But with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I'll see you guys next video.
King of Zone!